Hi everyone, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs, and I am here with part 2 of our file folder budget journal. And we had gotten to a point where we were almost ready to put it all together. This is what we're making, and if you haven't seen part 1, I would suggest doing that because it gives you all the ins and outs on how to get this together. But anyway, this is just a little journal that I made that is, I think, can be used for a budget journal. You could use it for other things. It has an elastic closure. You open it up and it has a traveler's notebook style, just a weekly journal where you can, I think if you were doing a budget, you could, put what you spent and what it's for and any explanation or whatever. And it's just a, weekly. It comes out. You could easily, take it out. And in addition to that, you turn it around and it has, and I hope you can see that from here, it has the days of the week all in here: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If you can see that. And it's in an accordion style little envelope, so that, if you're doing like a cash thing or something, you could just put your money in there with that. Okay. So that is pretty much it. It's pretty easy to assemble. You can, decorate it any way you want to. And anyway, the one we're doing, this one's a shabby chic one. The one we're doing is very different, but the mechanics of it are identical. There's no difference, okay? So anyway, this is where we left off. We were putting these scrap pieces of paper inside our envelopes. We have 7 envelopes. And what I do is I just take these and put them in there like that. And you're just gonna put some glue. And I kind of learned the secret is to not put too much glue and it'll stick in there well. And I don't glue these down because this is going to glue it down, so there's not a reason to do that. And then put that in there. Just line it up with the top. And you do not have to do this. I just think it's, a decorative thing. It does kind of help reinforce the envelope and make them a little stronger. So, I think it does serve that purpose. But it's not necessary. Okay, you're going to do that 7 times. You're going to do that to all your envelopes. And you should have had enough scraps that you could go ahead and do that on all of them. And I told you some of the pieces you want to ink it up. And actually, you should have inked this prior to putting that piece in, but you can still do it. I mean, it'll work. But before putting it together, that way if you get ink on it, although I don't know, I don't think it would really matter that much in this situation. But anyway, so you want to ink it up. And I did the front part here and the sides and the top, just because it is going to show. On my other envelope, I'll show you. And this is just, decorating. So I put a lot of lace on this one. So what I did is I have lace across this piece, and then every envelope, if you can see that, I put different lace. And I put it all the way down the front on each one of them, and I put a different lace. So you do have that going all the way across, just as a decorative element. It doesn't really serve a purpose, but that's there, and that's, totally optional. You don't have to do that. Anyway, I thought I would point that out. But because this is a masculine journal, we're not going to be putting lace on it. So that's one reason why I inked it all up around there, okay? So then after you do that 7 times, you are going to have 7 envelopes that all look like that, okay? That just pretty much look like this, okay? And what we're going to do is we are going to take these envelopes and prepare them to be put in the journal, okay? This part of the journal, this is the journal we're working on. This is the inside, and then this is the outside, okay? And we had done this together. The only thing different that I did is I did go ahead and sew all the way around the journal. This is not necessary. This is pretty much decorative. I just kind of thought, since I'm not doing any kind of lace or anything else, that the sewing gave it a little extra texture and, you know, a little look to it, and that's why I did it. But it's not necessary. You do not have to sew. It doesn't really serve much of a purpose, really. It does probably help hold your papers down more, but I mean, I think we had them glued down anyway. So the other journal that I did not sew at all. I didn't really think you'd see that much because we were covering a lot of things up with lace. But on this one, since we weren't doing that, I wanted to have that extra texture to it. Okay, so anyway, this is the inside of our journal. This is the outside. And what we're doing now is we're getting ready to put the envelopes inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the back envelope. And first, what I did is I kind of played with them and tried to decide which ones I wanted where. Okay, so like this has that paper. I just wanted to make sure they had like a different paper. You're not going to see that much of this, but you will see some of it. Okay, so I held it up like this. This is the bottom of your envelope. This is the crease right here. And you're going to want to have this envelope, the very back one, kind of centered in there and going right up to the bottom, just like that, okay? You don't want to go past that amount or it'll cause a problem, but you want to go to the bottom and you want it about, you know, just kind of centered. And we're going to go ahead, and I'm using score tape. You could glue it. It doesn't really matter what you do, but this is what I'm doing for now. And I'm going to put score tape all the way across the back. I meant to put that straighter. Well, it's going to have to work. Okay. And I'm going to put several pieces. And this piece you want on there pretty strong because it's going to be holding, you know, all of the envelopes. So, and I'm doing that probably about, what, 3 times? I think that'll be enough. Now what I do, and we're going to go ahead and take this off, and I always use this thing. I mean, this, it's practically all I use it for, to take the tape off, but anyway. And there's a kind of a trick that I've learned when you're using score tape or any kind of double-sided tape like that. Take your glue stick and go over the tape. And what that does is that gives you a little bit of time so that if you have to adjust it, you can. Otherwise, on score tape, what's going to happen is as soon as it hits, you know, you don't really get to move it. Excuse me, I'm sorry. My allergies are still a problem. I hope all of y'all are doing fine. Having a good day. Okay, so you want to kind of hold it up. Make sure you're not going past that line on the bottom. Kind of center it. Okay. And then you want to get your envelope kind of lined up and put in there. And then just kind of drop it in there. Lay it down. Get it in there good. Okay. And pretty soon, when that, you know, the other tape kind of, when the glue stick kind of dries, and you're basically just attaching it to score tape. So what you're going to do after that is you're going to take your score tape and you're going to go about 1/4 inch from the bottom, and this is 1/4 inch score tape. You don't have to use 1/4 inch, use whatever you have, but I'm using 1/4 inch, and I pretty much go from this part of the envelope, you know, where it comes together to here, just kind of as a, you know, as a ballpark. Okay, and I go from there to there, 1/4 inch from the bottom, and then I go 1/4 inch up again, and I go from that end here to kind of that end there. Okay, same thing, and it doesn't have to be exact, but that's how you want to put that on there. And you want to do that to all the rest of your envelopes, okay? Because this next one, you'd want to do that. You're going to go about 1/4 inch from the bottom to the end of where your envelope's put together, and then 1/4 inch up and go again to where it's kind of put together. And you could do this all the way across and have it tight, but the tighter you make it, the closer together the envelopes will be, and the less they'll expand. But that's a personal preference too. You may want it that way. So here's another one. We'll do that. I mean, it's up to you. You can do it that way if you want to. And this should hold pretty good, so. Alright. So I've already done the other ones. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, just like I said, vary the paper so it kind of looks different. You don't want everything looking the same. Maybe put that one over here. No. I don't know. See what our options are here. Well, how about that? Okay, there we go. And maybe that one. And maybe this one. And then what is in the front here? Okay, see? So you will see this part of the envelope. That's why we went ahead and decorated it. Okay? And like I said, you don't have to do that. That's totally an option. You know, you may not want to. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on the score tape that I did on the back one. Take that off. And put a little glue stick. That way, if you accidentally kind of put it on crooked, then guess what? You have time to move it. So then basically, you're just going to take this and line it up with the other envelope. Just put it on top, make sure the bottom's lined up, make sure the sides lined up, and then kind of press it down. That's it. That's all you're doing. Okay? And you just do that with every one. Like I said, I mean, you don't have to do this glue stick thing. If you feel confident, then, you know, just go for it. But I do it just because I want to make sure that I have time to adjust. All right, get that one on. And I mean, you could use white envelopes too, by the way, and just decorate them if you want to. I mean, the sky's the limit. This is just kind of a basic, you know, here it is, just take it and run with it kind of a thing. And I'm certainly not the first person that came up with this envelope accordion thing. I mean, I think it's been around forever. I mean, it was done, you know, mini journals, scrapbooks, whatever, but this is just my take on it, and it honestly came out of just me, a need that I had, and I thought, well, why don't I, if I'm going to be keeping track of stuff in envelopes, why don't I just make something that looks good? So, and the journal part of it, I I had those journals and I was getting ready to just do the envelope part of it, and then I thought, well, you know what, that would make sense. So, and I think this could be a cool little, gift to give somebody. Or also, you could do this with the months and do 12. You just want to make sure that your spine is big enough to accommodate 12 envelopes. I think this one would be with these dimensions, but it also depends on what you're putting in them. So so that way then you could just do the same exact thing, get a monthly planner and do just do the 12 months, and everything else would be basically the same. You'd be doing the same thing. So all right, so here's our last one. Got them all in there. And what we're going to do on this one, now remember, this is the inside, okay? So we have this is the small piece, this is a larger piece with the little end thing. These two are the same size, and we're using this here, this piece right here, the larger one with the little indentation or tab. This is where all these are going to go, okay? So we're going to put that together, and the journal part's going to go here, okay? So what we're going to do here is we've already got our score tape on here, and we're just basically going to attach that to this. And then again, I'm going to do the same thing with the glue stick, just because, better safe than sorry. And you're attaching it in the same spot. I made a little boo-boo there because it ripped the envelope, not all the way through, but just a little bit on top. But you're not going to see it. So, okay, this is when I take this and stand it flat. Okay, this portion right here, have that flat against your desk. Okay, and then pull this up, right? And this is important because you don't want to put it on there where you can't have it flat, okay? And then that's when you attach it, just like that, okay? And then that should be perfect. Stick it all in there. And voila, there you go. Okay? There's your folder. They all open up. And like I said, if you wanted to, you could do them closer together so that they don't, all that would happen is they wouldn't expand as much. Okay? But that's totally up to you. All right? Anyway, that's it right there. The other part of that we do is I have a tab punch, and this is a really cool thing to use if you do tabs very often. I do have a die cut too, but I find, I don't want to do the die cut machine, whatever. So I got this. I splurged and got it. I bought it on Amazon. It's We Are Memory Keepers. And let me show you how you make a tab out of the tab punch. Because if you just, here, let me show you. It'll be easier to show you than to tell you. If you just take this tab punch and cut it out the way that it's intended, okay, all you're going to get is half of a tab, okay? And actually you could use it that way. You could just glue two pieces together and put it on. But an easier way to do it is to take, I think this is about a 1 inch. I'm guessing because I always eyeball it. Yeah, it's about a 1 inch piece or 2 inch piece of paper that I have folded into 1 inch, and you'll have the top. So here's the fold in the middle, and it's 2 inches, and you're just folding it. Then you take your tab punch, you do it upside down because you want to be able to see. Okay? So here's your tab. And then you put it in here. And you just miss putting, you don't put it all the way up there like it's supposed to be. Okay? Don't do that. You're going to go just below the top so it's not cutting that portion. Get it in there straight because I just moved it. Okay, and that's very crooked, so let me get it straight. Okay, and you cut it out. There we go, get that out of there. And that's what gives you your tab, okay? So you're going to want to do 7 of those, all right? Because we're going to do all the days of the week on here. And I did that, let's see, I think I did I do 7? I think I did. And then what I did is I inked it up, okay, because I want it to kind of match, you know, my folder. You just got to do it on one side because the other side's going to be glued. Okay. And then I have these stamps, and I did not keep the manufacturer or anything, but I know I got them at Tuesday morning, and I don't think it was probably more than 6 months ago. And I think I have seen them there, so I do not remember who. If somebody knows, please comment, but I did get them at Tuesday morning, okay? And then they have, they have the days of the week spelled out, but they also have them abbreviated. And they kind of fit on here. So I decided that I'm going to use those. And I have them, I've done all these. They don't fit perfect, but they fit pretty good. So I did that. And like I said, if you don't have that stamp, you could print something out on your computer. You could write it. You could do whatever it is you think you want to do. And the only day that I think I did not do was Saturday. So I'm going to ink that up. And I use this archival ink, but I like to use, this is called Watering Can. And it's kind of a gray color, and I love it. I really, really love it. I use it more than my black because it's not as bold as the black. You know how you kind of stamp off on your black sometimes? And I think I got this, gosh, it was on the Hobby Lobby clearance, 70% off. Okay, so then the way I do this is I just, here's my thing, and it doesn't fit perfectly like I said. So I try and get it to fit as good as possible, which is really not that bad. It almost fits, okay? Just hold it there for a little bit so the ink has time to absorb. Okay, there we go. So there's Saturday, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I am going to take my file folder, and I'm going to go ahead and put the days of the weekend on the tabs. And you could have done this before you put it together, but I kind of like to see it, as, where it's going to actually be. So I start with Sunday. And I am going to go, and I am going to start kind of, close to the end. I don't know if I'm going to use glue stick, or I think I'm going to use Mark Glitter Glue for that, okay? So I'm going to go like that. You got to put it on both sides. And the way that I put these in there is I line it up. This little edge right here where it's flat, I line the top of my paper up to the top of that little flat piece. And that way I know I have them on there even. So I'm going to go right to that top. Do it on both sides to that same spot. Right? Press it. And there we go. We got Sunday. All right? And I know that these will not fit all the way across, but I'm going to go like halfway in between and do the next one. All right. Just kind of, and I'm just eyeballing it. You can measure. Probably be wise to measure, but I'm not, so I'm just going to eyeball it. Eyeball it over here too, and like I said, I use that little top of that ridge as my measuring thing, and that usually works to get it in there pretty, you know, pretty straight. And you have a tiny bit of time with art glitter glue, not a ton, but a little bit. Usually enough, you know, to get it in there straight. And I'm using that because I know it holds good. So we got Sunday, Monday. Let's get Tuesday. And we're going to go halfway again. And I am eyeballing it. Make sure I get it in the right spot. I think that's about half. Right there. Don't jiggle it around. Okay, so there we go. Well, I think I'm doing it further down than half. I'm doing it like more like 3/4, and I did it on both of them, so I think we're good. Get the corners good. Okay, let's see if I can line it up the same. I think that's pretty good. It's a little low. A little low. Get those on there straight. There we go. It's a bit crooked. I think that's straight. Well, that should be over just a tiny bit more. See if I have time to get it off of there. Okay, yeah, I think that should be here more. All right, there we go. Wednesday. Okay. I got a little glue on there. It shouldn't be on there, but it'll come off. Okay, Wednesday. Sorry, I'm so getting quiet here because I'm kind of concentrating. Okay. Wednesday, we're going to do Thursday. It's going to go right here. And like I said, you can certainly measure these to make sure you get it exactly where you want it. I'm just kind of eyeballing it and hoping it works out, which most of the time it does. Thursday, and then we're going to have Friday. And you don't have to do it in this order. I mean, you could start out with a different day of the week or do whatever you want to do. I'm just, you know, I'm just doing it the way that makes sense to me, so... Anyway, and like I said, I mean, you could easily do this with the months. You could, I mean, there's a lot of, I could see a lot of things that you could do with this. Okay, got one more. Put that in there. Okay, let me see if I can, hope I didn't glue that down too much to put that in there. Now this is your last one, and because we didn't glue it up too far, we can still fit that in there. So that should fit right to the edge. If I can, maybe I got to do it in the front first. Hold on. That'll probably go right there. Yeah, it'll fit. Okay. Get that in there straight. Okay, so basically that's it. You've done it, and you've got all the days of the week in there. I hope y'all can see that. And you've got your file folder that opens up, you know, and there you go. That's it. You've done it. I mean, that's pretty much most of the construction. We just got a little bit more to go. Let me put this pin in because that always causes problems later. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and punch our eyelet holes for our elastic so that we can put our traveler's notebook or journal in there, their weekly journal. Okay, so let me get that down. I'm going to put this up for a minute. Okay, let me move that for a second. Okay, so what I do is I go kind of in the middle, but you have to remember on this, you have to have enough room for this to close. Okay, so I would probably go a little closer to, so you've got this much room to work with. I would go on this side, because this is 3/4 of an inch. I would go a little bit closer to this side on your eyelets and not necessarily center them, because in that way it's not hitting, your journal's not hitting the top of this. Okay, I'm trying to think, how far did I do it on this one? I don't know. It doesn't seem to be having any problems, so I got to remember. No, I actually did that in the middle. It turned out pretty good. All right, well, change my mind. I'll just do it in the middle. I think it worked out okay last time, so. All right, so I always use this little tool right here that you can move back and forth so that I put it in the same spot on both of them. And again, you can measure. I just kind of eyeball it. Okay. Is that far enough in? Probably. Okay. And this will easily cut through that athletic tape. But the cool thing about the athletic tape is it is so strong. It will actually reinforce that whole area, so it also, you know, it'll keep the eyelet and all that from ripping later on down the road. I mean, I'm not saying it'll last forever, but it'll help it last for quite a long time. Okay, so let me get my two eyelets out. I have no idea what color I'm going to get. Let's just see. Potluck. How about that one? See if I can find another one. Here we go. All right, we have two. And what I do on this is if the eyelet's going to be showing on the outside, which the one with the lace, I'll show you, it did not, because I covered it up with lace. Okay, so the eyelets were here, and so what I did is I put the nicer part on the inside that you are going to see, and then the other part on the outside, because I knew I was going to cover that up. Okay, we're not covering it up on this one, so I want the nicer part on the outside, on this part. Okay, my personal preference. I mean, you can do it however you want, but that's, you know, that's just kind of how I look at it this way. Since you can see it, you probably want it to look good, so. Get it in there. Do I have it in there? Nope, it's not in there. Hold on. Okay, so that's one. And then here's the other one. Are those two different? Yeah, they kind of are. I don't know that anybody would notice, but one's very dark and one's kind of a silver, so I don't know. I seriously doubt anyone would notice the difference. Yeah, that's the same. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to put that in there. And then get it all ready to go. There we go. So now we have our eyelets in. And that's where we're going to put our string. I don't remember if I already cut one. I can't remember. Yeah, I think I did. Okay, so this, let me move this out of the way for now. Okay. Oh, that's what the problem is. That's falling. Get that out of the way. Okay, so now we're just going to decide on the other one. On this one, I put the knot, again, for the same reason, on the outside because I knew I was going to cover it up with lace, and then you wouldn't see it on the inside, okay? On this one, I'm going to put the knot on the inside, and that's just my preference because that way, because you are going to see this string on the outside, and I think with the style of this, it looks just fine. You know, that's just, but I'm, you know, I don't want the knot on the outside, so I'm going to put it like that, right? And then I'm going to go in here, and you want it tight, but not, you know, not so tight that it's like pulling on the two edges there. So we're going to do that. Okay. Going to tie it. Let me see. Is that too tight? No, that's probably perfect right there. And then what I always do is I put a dab of glue. Let me first make sure that is in there good. And it's the right, feels good and all that kind of stuff. Before I do that. I think that's probably about right. Yep, see, there we go. That's pretty much your journal, folks. I mean, you could stop right there if you wanted to. Okay, so that's in there pretty good. All right, I would leave it like that. I think that's pretty good. If you want to have that in there permanently, I always just take like a little dab of glue and put it in the middle so the knot doesn't come out. But I mean, and then, you know, you can always cut it and put more elastic in there. I just do that because I don't want it to come undone. And I don't want to tie it again because then that's another whole big old knot, you know, that you don't need. So I cut it shorter at that point. Okay. And so that part's done. Okay. So now we're going to work on the cover. And a lot of that is just optional, you know, decorating. There is one part that's functional. And I'm going to do that first. So if you want to kind of say, okay, well, I don't want to stick around for the decorating, then that's fine. But on that, let me get my stuff out. What did I do? I forgot. Okay. I'm going back and forth between these two baskets. So I have decided I am going to do very similar to the other one, is I am going to do this button closure. And what it is that I have just a button that's elevated, okay? And then I've actually tied the cord around. And the way I've kept this button in here is I've actually sewn it through the back and put another button on the other side. And that's how that's in there, because it's very secure. And this goes around and it just kind of flips right over here just like that, okay? There's a lot of other different ways you can do closures. You can certainly, you know, there's just a lot of different ways, but this is how I'm going to do it because I'm actually kind of using it as part of the decorating. So I have this kind of cool clock thing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on there, and I'm going to put it right about here because I know I'm going to put some other things over here. So I'm going to put it, try and get it to go through the paper because I want it to be as sturdy as possible. And on the other side, I'm going to use this button that I have, and I'm going to put this on the other side, and I'm going to actually use this to keep it sewn in, okay? Now, I'm not going to use, where did my thread go? Oh, here it is. I'm not going to use regular thread. I am going to use my wax linen thread just because I know it's really strong, and I know that if I put that in there, it's probably not going to come undone, okay? And I'm going to use, hopefully I can find my needle. Where is it? Okay, there it is. I'm going to use my same needle that I use for doing my signatures. I'm going to go ahead and put that through there. Cut that a little bit. And I'm using kind of a grayish thread just to kind of go through there. And you can certainly use regular thread or upholstery thread or just something strong. You want to use something strong. Doesn't take a lot. Okay. Okay, and I kind of double knot it because I want to make sure the knot doesn't go through. Because what we're going to do... Okay, I'm having trouble with this. Let me try it again. Maybe I'll just do it this way. I think it's too far on the end there. Okay, now cut that little end off. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I punch 2 holes because that needle is not going to go through there that easily, okay? So I'm going to punch 2 holes. I'm going to do it right about here. And I just do it with my awl. Get that back over there. It moved. So that just kind of helps me so I don't have to try and push the needle through that. Okay. And then what I do is I just take the bottom button and I don't just go through like this. I go underneath it, okay? Because I don't want that knot to show. So that, oh, see the knots, that's the problem. I didn't make the knot big enough. That's what I thought was going to happen, but okay, I think that'll work. All right, so you're going to basically, you're going to put the knot on the bottom part of the button, okay? Is that going to stay? I don't know. That might still, it looks pretty good. Okay, so then you're going to take that and your knot's on the bottom, and you're basically just going to go thread it through the holes that you've made. Okay. Oh wait, I did that wrong. Hold on. I did it wrong. You've got to go through the other side first. Otherwise, you're going through the side. So you've got the hole on the bottom. You go through the other side. Okay. Like that. And then you go through here, because otherwise it's going to be coming out the side. Right, so that's what happens. That's how your button ends up on there. Okay, we're going to go through it again. And then your button on the other side is just you want something like one of these raised buttons like that, if you can do that, because this gives you room for the elastic to go underneath there. So anyway, that is going to go like that. Okay, and then we're going to go back through our button on the other side of where we just came out of, just just like sewing on a button, and then tighten that up as much as you can. See, I think that knot's coming through again. I don't know, we'll see. That's not good. I may have to start over because that knot's not behaving. Oh, okay, now it's okay. All right, so then you go back through again, and you want to try and line up your holes. That's a problem too, so because otherwise you're trying to punch it through. Go through again, right? Okay, and then go through your actual buttonhole here. And you really only need to do this like a couple times, maybe 3 at the most, because this string's pretty strong and it's not gonna probably come off, I don't think. But anyway, let me get that in there. Okay. And also too, you got to make sure that your needle will go through your button too. All right, getting that nice and tight. I'm going to do it one more time. It's getting harder and harder to get through there because that hole is getting full. Make sure you make it as tight as you can when you're doing this, because you don't want that button sticking out too much. Okay? Then go through the very last hole. Do it one more time. And this time, when you go through, do not go through this buttonhole. Just go through the hole and take your needle and come out the other end, okay? So what you're going to do is your thread's going to be on the side, okay? And this is how you're going to tie it off. You're going to tighten it up first. Make sure it's very tight. Pull on it. You're going to go ahead and you're going to take your thread and go around like this. Well, it came off, but we can still do that. Let me cut that shorter so I can manage it. And go like this and come through here. And you're just going to tighten it like that, okay? Go around again. You're going to do it again. And then I do it one more time, and this is what I do on the last time, okay? I take these 2 pieces right here. You've got a double piece here and that piece that we were looping inside each other. And this is where I actually tie it off. I go inside and just basically tie a knot. Just tighten it. Go in as... I'm not doing that good with my fingers here. You're just going to go, take it, treat the 2 pieces as one. You're going to go like that, and then you're going to do it one more time, because then you're tying the actual knot, okay? If you want to tie it one more time, you can. I mean, there's no harm doing that. You can do that, okay? In fact, I might do that anyway. So this is how you're tying the knot. And then you just want to clip off the extra pieces. Okay, so they're not, you can't see them. So that's how it's going to look on the inside. This is how it's going to look on the outside. And then you take your whatever elastic you're going to use. And what I did is I just basically took this times 2, and then I added some to it. And this is kind of how I measured it, just to see how it would fit. go ahead and put this in there just to kind of feel for the length that you're going to need. Now my other one, I put glue underneath here and glued it down, and if you want to do that, you can. In fact, I might do that because I was going to actually add something to this button. And I hope this fabric tack holds it. I'm not sure if it will or not. We'll see. I was going to put fabric tack underneath here, big old glob of it. Hold that down, and what that'll do is that'll kind of make sure that now I got glue everywhere, that button's not coming off. Get that off. And then what I was going to do is I'm going to put this little cog thing in there, and we'll see if it holds, because I'm not sure if it will or not. We'll see, because it is metal, and we'll see if fabric tack will hold it. I'm thinking it will. And if it doesn't, well then, plan B. Okay? So I'm going to put that there. Got a lot of extra glue. Let me get a little white. Okay. There we go. Got that off. And then, what did I do with my little clamps? I have these little clamps that I use when I do stuff like that. And I'm going to put that right here. And put that right here. Okay. And that'll hold it down, I hope. Okay. So we're going to we're going to get that off of there. We don't need it on there. That way maybe it'll hold it tighter. There we go. That's good. Get it over here. There we go. All right, I'm going to let that sit there for just a second and let it dry a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to show you kind of what I had in mind for the cover, because we're at that point now. What did I do with all my little pieces? Here they are. Okay. I have this Tim Holtz guy. To me, he kind of looks like a banker. I thought I would put him on there. I've got some corrugated cardboard, and I took a little bit of this metallic luster black shimmer, and I put that on there, just on the corrugated cardboard, and I kind of went across it. I wanted it to kind of have a little metal look to it, and it does after this. So it's really kind of a cool look. I wanted it kind of look like I don't know, like a metal I don't know, corrugated metal, I guess. Although, you know, the cardboard's underneath it, but, you know, just kind of give it that kind of look. Go around the ends a little bit. A little of this stuff goes a long way. Put some on the top. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do with that. Wipe my finger off a little bit. Okay. Oops, what did I just lose here? Something just fell. What was that? Oh, I don't know. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to put him over here. And then I have all these little things, and I'm going to put them kind of around. Let's see if that's almost dry. I would think that it would be. Let's see. I could probably go a little bit longer. Right? A little bit longer. Yeah, there we go. All right. I'll leave it there just for a little bit longer. Kind of go like this. Let's see what I have. I have like, how many of those do I have? I thought I had another one. Let me see. So I've got that and that. So maybe do that. And maybe do that over here. I don't want two that looks the same. I'll put one over here. Maybe put that over here. And then I'm going to kind of put him in here. Maybe make that look a little bit more random. Okay, and then I'm going to put, I'll show you what I have here. I have these little things that I got at the 70% off sale that they had at Hobby Lobby, and it's a Paper Studio, and it's called Spared Parts, and it's these little button things that have you know, letters on it. And I'm going to put journal on this part right here, and I'm going to stamp budget right here. Okay, so the way you do these is you string them on something. They have like an opening in the back, and I strung them on just a piece of corrugated cardboard, so it kind of went with this. I did want to put black on that, and I didn't do that. Oh well, let me see if I can do it with a paintbrush or something. Not that anybody will probably ever notice, but do I have a little tiny paintbrush that I could do that with? Let me look over here. Of course I do. Dumb question. Yeah, I think I was going to put some on here because I wanted to have, that's too much, a little metal look right here. Get that off of there. Maybe on the ends a little bit. And I had inked this up a little bit, and I already strung these on there just because I thought y'all wouldn't want to wait for me to do that. But anyway, there's an opening, and you kind of string them on there, and then you put the letters on there. So we'll go ahead and put the letters in, and then hopefully everything will be dry by then, and we can finish putting this together. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let me put this aside for a minute, and hopefully all this stuff won't fall. No, it probably will fall. I'm just going to move it over. How about that? Let's do that. And I already picked out my letters, but I think I'm going to put a little bit of, well, that's coming off the top. Ugh. I think I'm going to put a little bit of, I'll put this in water real quick. My 3-in-1 glue on each of these little spots, because I don't know, I don't trust the glue that's on there, so just a little bit. Okay, put the top on that, then I won't have it exploding on me. See if I can get them kind of sort of straight. I don't know that it matters if they're perfect, but you know, kind of sort of straight. I always have problems with these little teeny tiny things. Get it this way. You know, I think I'm going to use, where is it? Yeah, this will work better. Kind of move it around. Okay, got that. Let's kind of move it around. Let's get it in there. That's one. Hopefully the glue doesn't dry by the time I get it over there. Right? go. Yeah, I was just kind of going through my stash going, I've got all this stuff. I need to use it. So I got a lot of stuff that I need to start using. So we're giving away or doing something because I don't think I'm going to live long enough to use it all. Uh-oh. I put an extra Journal. Okay, well I got an extra thing on there. I'm gonna have to take it off. I wonder why I did that. I guess I wasn't counting how I was putting them on there. Right? Okay, that can be remedied. I would have spaced them differently probably, but oh well, they're already on there, so. Okay, so we got that. They're sticking in there. Now I got to get this one off. And see, they just slide on and off. So I want to kind of eyeball it. Does that look about the right size? I think that looks about right. Okay, so that part is done. I think this has to be dry by now, probably. All right. So this is going to go right here, like that. Okay. And I'll do that after we get this part done. And I'm going to go ahead and start fiddling with this. It's really kind of out of my element to do a masculine guide journal, and it feels kind of good sometimes to stretch yourself and have to think differently than you, because there's a lot of things that I would automatically do on a shabby chic journal, or even just it would just be a different kind of thing. So I mean, I think I really enjoyed doing this just because it's not something I normally do. Anyway, I'm going to put this on here. I think that's pretty good. Hold that down for a second because that corrugated cardboard has all these little bumps. So, okay. And what I want to do is I want to close this and see where everything is going to lie with it closed. Okay. And that actually, I'm sorry, is going there. So that is going to be, how much of that are we going to be covering up? I don't want to cover up too much of him, but I don't want to be hanging off the side either. So he should probably go there. Okay, let's do that. I hope my glue lasts through this because it's at the very bottom. I have more, but I'm on their, what do you call it? Automatic ship program on Amazon for this stuff. There's nothing more that I hate when I don't have it, but actually they're not shipping it to me fast enough, so I'm gonna have to figure out, like, I just probably need to double the amount that they're shipping, probably, is what the issue is. Like, they ship me 1 bottle a month and that's just not gonna cut it. So, and I like the smaller bottles because they're just, to me, it's easier. The glue comes out faster. I don't know. But it does run out faster. And I priced it out. There's very little difference in price. So you might as well have what, is convenient for you, I think. Okay. Again, I'm eyeballing. I'm not measuring anything. So here we go. Okay, so you're going to sit right there. And it will. Okay, so that's going there. Stay down. We need to hold that just for a second. Make sure it makes contact. And then I don't know how we decided we're going to do this. Right? So this is going here. Okay, I think that's good. Maybe we go like that. That goes over there. That goes over here. Right? And then these are going to go down here. I don't know how we're going to put that. I'd like to use all of them, but I don't have to. Put that over here. Right? Okay, that works for me. I'm not going to sit here and make a big decision out of this. Now, like I said, I hope this holds it down. It's going to be tricky getting that on there without having all the glue show, but oh well. We'll try and figure it out. Go like that. Press it down. Try and get the extra glue up. Okay, so you're down. I'm going to put this one down. That one's going to go right there. Oh, and I got these, oh gosh, a really long time ago at Michael's. And I don't know if they still sell them. Here's it. This is it right here. So, I don't know. It says distributed by Michael's stores. So, I don't know. Anyway. I'm sure they still sell stuff like that in the jewelry department. And I don't remember. I used it for something, but I can't remember what it was. It was some kind of, I want that up a little. I don't want it to be like exact. Get some of that glue out. Okay. Oh, too much glue right there. All right, and then I'm going to do, let's see, the ones on the bottom. Maybe that goes there. That comes over here. Like maybe like that. Yeah. Or maybe, let me see. That's better right there. Anyway, we're almost done, folks. We're going to put our elastic on. And we will be done. Get that glue off. I don't really know any other way to do this where the glue's not going to come through. But you won't see it. It'll dry clear, so. These aren't very heavy, so I think it will hold it, you know. So. Okay, let me make sure that's off that part. And then get the extra glue off of that. Okay. So that's going to be it. So now we're going to put our elastic on that I cut, but I don't know where I put it. Huh. Okay. What did I do with it? Oh, we have to put budget on there. Forgot about that. Let's do that. Get that a little bit, and we have to put this on. Oh, we have lots to do. I'm just in a hurry. Okay, let's see here. I have budget, and these are just some letters that I had. Again, I think I got these at Tuesday morning. And I have them all lined up, ready to go. And I'm going to use the same ink. And I really, really should have done that before I put the button on, because now it's not going to be flat, but we'll hope for the best. Oh, I just forget things. Yeah, it's going to be a little harder now. Okay. Put that like that. That should be good enough. I'll be able to do it. I think I'll be able to do it. All right. I'm going to use the same ink. Now, I'm going to use this We Are Memory Keepers thing, and I learned something real quick, is that these little you know, these things, they leave an impression. So you need to make sure you have something that they're gonna, you know, make sure I get lots of ink on there. I'm only gonna get one shot. Oh, you know what? I might not be able to do it with that button there now. Shoot. That was not good planning on my part. Holy guacamole. Well, I can do it if I do it on a smaller block on part of it. Let me do that. Let me see. I have to get under there. I have to go to a plan B, guys. Okay, because I screwed up. I should have done that first. But we're winging it. I don't think all of it's going to fit on here. So I'm going to have to do like BU and then put, let me see. Oh, darn it. I forgot all about that. I'm just going to do it in sections so that I can fit it in there and get it as straight as I can, you know. But I kind of messed that up, didn't I? Come on. These little pieces are so hard to deal with. That's why I like it on the grid, because I can tell, you know, if it's straight or not. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to fit another letter. I can only do 3 at a time. Let's see how that looks. There we go. All right. I think we'll be able to wing it. I probably should write down directions as I'm doing this, you know, step by step, but that would make it, I would have to be seriously organized to do that. Okay, yeah, that'll work. Okay. That's gonna work. All right. That was not smart on my part. It's still not super flat, but I think I can do it. Got one shot. Okay, the B didn't turn out great, but I think I can fix that because it wasn't laying really flat, but I think I can fix it. Okay. All right. Gonna put the J. Here we go. This E is really small. And you know, there's always a plan B. I mean, if something happened and you do it wrong, or you can always go and cover that up and put, you know, print something out. There's always a plan B. You know, there's no real mistakes. You can always fix them. Especially in junk journaling, because we have no rules. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, let's see if I can get it lined up straight. Probably be easier if I do it this way. Not straight. Semi-straight. Okay, yep, that part turned out fine. Get my little letters and put them in here. I'm going to lose them. Okay, I think what I'm going to do on the rest of this, I am just going to take, I have a fine tooth one, but I'm going to barely touch it. I probably should, I have a gray pen. I should really just get it out and use it, but I'm being too lazy. Okay, all right, and then I'm gonna take this and go in. Okay, so we fixed that. Now we just have to put our journal part on there. I'm gonna put that right there. Put some glue on this. And this is kind of the same thing. I hope it, you know, I hope this holds it. We'll find out. This seems to be holding it pretty good right there. I'm gonna put a big blob in there. Because it has to go past that metal part. Alright. I'm going to take this, get this out of here because it's not helping. Alright, we're going to do that. Get it flat. Yeah, probably should not have put that button on when we did, but oh well. Oh well. And I do think I did it last on my other journal. I'm going to try and semi-center this. You know, I want you to be able to read it, but maybe a little bit more this way. Right? Is that straight? I think so. And kind of make sure it makes contact everywhere. One of these is not on there good. Okay, there we go. All right. This thing's not. Let me see if I can move that. If it's still movable. It is. There we go. Okay, so that is that part. Okay, so we got that. Got that. Kind of goes with the metal. Move that way a tiny bit. I wonder if it should go up. No, it's about right. I think that's right. I think that's about where it needs to be. Okay, and then the tie, since I can't find it, I'm just going to do an, oh wait, here it is right here. Nope, that's not it. Just do another one. We'll use it at some point. So I'm going to go one, two, and a little extra because I got to tie it. All right, so I really want that to dry just a tiny bit more before I mess with that. But anyway, let's see what we are on time on our. We are at. Whoop, boy, we got overtime. Okay, we're almost done. We're almost done. So now all we're going to do is we are going to take the tied end of this. We're going to figure out how long we want it to be. And a little extra to tie. That's pretty big, so we don't need it that long. So you probably need to cut it. Oh, let's see, about that much. We are going to go from here around, and that's still way too long. Okay, gonna do it again. All right, this should probably be it. I think we're gonna do it. This is gonna be it. Okay, I'm gonna go like that. Yeah, that's about it right there. Okay. So what I do is I take this end right here, the two separate pieces like that, and then I just take them and I kind of tie them together in a knot like that. Okay. And I want to make sure I have enough on the end that I can still work with it. All right. So that is going to go right here. Okay. Right underneath your button, and it should wrap around. Let's make sure the size is right. It still seems a little big. So I'm going to take that and untie it, and then tie it a little bit tighter back. So I can get that untied. Should not be that hard, except I tied it really tight. I was being overconfident. Ouch. Oh, come on. Shouldn't be that hard. There we go. It might not come undone. I'll just do another one, okay? That way we're not waiting around, and I'll use this for something else later. Okay, so we've got one, and then two. All right, let me try it again. This time I think I'm just going to do the one knot until I know for sure. I won't do it that tight. So tie your knot. Make sure you have a little bit to work with, okay? Put that on here like this, on this side, okay? And then pull this around. Yeah, that should be perfect. Actually, it could be a little looser. Boy, just can't win, can we? All right, let's do a little bit looser. Okay. We're going to go right to here. Oh my goodness. That's what happens when I'm in a hurry. It's like I can't do anything right. Okay. Do that right on the end. Got a little bit left. That should be enough. Okay, let's try it one more time. So that's going to go here. It's going to go around. And then that's going to go there. Okay? All right, perfect. All right, so then what we're going to do is we take this part with the knot. This is what I do. And I take it, and it's on there. You know, you're looping it around like that. Your knot part's on this side. I take it and I put it around the other side, and I just tie. And see, that's why I didn't leave a lot of room, but I have enough. I just tie another knot. Okay. Do it one more time. A knot, you know, you want a double knot so it stays. All right. Nice and tight. If you want to put a dab of glue there, you can. I usually do after I'm done. Cut that off. Here's our journal. Now on this, what I plan to do, and I'll just do it real quick, is I'm just going to cover it, or maybe not cover it, with this paper. If you want to do that, you can, or you can leave it plain. I think I'll just leave it plain right now. I don't know what I'm going to do later. But you can cover it with paper. That's what I did with the one in the this one right here is I covered it with one of the papers. Okay. This I think could probably look good either way. I'd probably ink up the edges, but it's done. It's pretty much done, guys. This is, you know, you've got your weekly envelopes here. You could put something here if you wanted to. I didn't on the other one either. I just kind of left it like that. And then, you know, here you have your you know, weekly journal. Comes in and out. You can replace it when you use it. This is your other button. See, it's all flat now, and it's got the little thing. It's stuck down there. And then here's your other button that gives you, you know, plenty of room to put your tie on. Closes right up. And there we go. It's done, folks. All done. Easy peasy. 2 different styles. So I hope that helped you guys. I hope that you got some value out of it. If you have, please like and subscribe. And please remember that I have giveaway Fridays. And all you have to do to enter that is to simply subscribe and comment on any videos during the week. And each time you comment on a video, one time per video, you are entered to win. So if I have 5 videos out, you can, you know, comment on each one and be entered 5 times. You can watch old videos and comment, but every week I start over again. Okay, so if you watch an old video and comment, it doesn't count forever. It counts if you did it during that week. Anyway, I have a lot of things that I am going to be destashing, and I don't sell my journals normally, and when I make journals I usually make multiples, and that's why you will be getting journals also, and just a lot of stuff that I just overbought. That's really all there is to it, and there just isn't enough time for me to do all the things that I just have these grandiose ideas that I'm going to do. So I do need to start doing something with it, and I'm going to share it with you. I will pay up to $10 shipping, and then after that, if you still want it, you know, you just pay the difference if it's over that. Okay, well, you guys have a nice evening. I'm sorry that this video ran long. I tried to speed it up a little bit, but you know, can only do so much, and I didn't want to make it 3 parts. So anyway, good night, guys, or have a good day. It's night for me, so